Hello and welcome back. My name is Burton. I'm with Greenbrier Vintage, and I'm going to take you along with me as I set up for some markets that I have coming up this weekend, Christmas market. So I'm going to take you from start to finish how I prepare for a market. Please ignore this very wrinkled tablecloth because I will fix it before the actual market. But right now I just grabbed it out of storage to set up my display, and I'm not going to deal with ironing it and stuff now. I'll just set up and then I'll iron it after. So what I like to do for markets is I actually before actually doing a market is I set up a test of my display in my living room. So this is just a 6-foot folding table that I have here. I put on a couple tablecloths, and then I have different crates and stuff that I'll put along the back to make kind of height and shelves and everything, and then I'll put all my merchandise here. So you may have seen other YouTube videos that I've shown over the past month where I was showing prepping merchandise for this market. So if you missed that and you want to go back and watch that, you can find that on my YouTube channel, where it just shows me going through and pricing different items and organizing different things for these markets. But today what I'm actually going to do is set up my whole display, and then I'm going to be pricing some extra merchandise as well. So I just have it in my living room here, and the reason I do this is several reasons. One, I like to see how everything will go. So then the day of the market, I just take it, I have a picture of how it looks, I set it up exactly the same, and I find it so less stressful the day of the market to actually know where everything goes. And another reason is because I want to make sure I have enough product, I have enough things, because sometimes I think I have enough and then I set it up and I actually need to fill in some gaps on the table. So it's always helpful to know that in advance before the actual market. And another reason is I like to know what labels I need, what signage I need, if I need an easel or a prop or an extra crate or box or something to hold merchandise. So it's always happy and helpful for me to set it up ahead of time and see how it all goes, and then I can just take it all down. It is extra work, of course, but this just works for me and is something I like to do. So I have a Christmas background up on my TV, just a random art background, and I'm going to take you with me throughout the day as I set up my table, show you behind the scenes of how I'm setting it up, and then I'll take you along after this as well to show you the actual markets and how it works out for the markets. So here we go. All right, so I have the shell of my booth all done. Usually I don't have this shelf on the table. This is just a new acquisition that my mom actually gave to me. And she thought I might want to sell it in my shop, but I actually like how slim and slender and small it is. So I think it's actually good to put on top of a table, a market booth. So right now, these are the crates I usually use, and I do have some extra crates that I normally take up this whole space just with like a wall of crates to build up and to build shelves. And then I leave this little gap here to use it because I sit behind the table, so I need a little area where I can see customers and talk to them. And then I have my little square reader and everything that I put there. And there is a clothing rack that's going to be alongside my booth, kind of making an L. So instead of having people walk into my booth to shop, I use the perimeter of my booth to sell items from, so that way no one has to walk into a booth. I just find that sales are usually better if people don't have to enter. So they can shop all along the front of the booth and walk along. I'm in an aisle, so they can walk down this way, shop this way, and then walk down the aisle that way and shop the clothing rack at the side as well. This is for the market on Saturday. I don't know how I'll be situated exactly for the market on Sunday, but I'll kind of do the same kind of setup. I've never done this market on the Sunday with this event venue before, so I'll see when I get there. But anyways, that's how it's going to be all set up, and now I'll just fill in all these gaps with my merchandise. And this will be a new thing for me to try out, how I like having this mini shelf as part of my display as well. So we'll see how it goes. So this is the shell, and I'll keep going along, and now I'll fill it up with merchandise. Okay, it's been exactly an hour, and this is the progress I'm at right now. I still need to do some styling, filling in some gaps. I also have this basket with some Christmas children's books on the floor. So that will be coming along with me too. And I have to fill in some different gaps and stuff like that. And I still have more things upstairs to bring down. So I'm going to try to fit it all in, and I need work in this section mainly right now. Oh, and up on this corner right here. And mainly in this section is not really put together, but it's coming along well. It's coming along nicely, I think. So I just wanted to give you a little progress update. So this took about an hour, or exactly an hour now actually, and I'll keep going. All right, that's a wrap on setting this up. So just a reminder, there will also be a clothing rack right here running along the side. Rufus. There will be a clothing rack running along the side. And right where Rufus is looking, there is a basket of plastic like baubles and Christmas ornaments and stuff. And then I also have these children's books down here. And then all of these pieces are all set up and ready to go. So this will make it a lot easier when I go and set it up for the market. I like how everything's all laid out. I took photos already. I know where everything's going to go. And then it will help me when it's time to go and actually set up for the market. But right now what I'm going to do is just dismantle this whole table down, take everything down. Some items are priced, some items still need pricing. So I'll move everything kind of to my dining table and sort through everything, and then price as I go. So all ready to go, and I'm really happy with it. So it's the next day. I have everything all sorted out on my dining table, and now I'm going to have to go through everything, and some things do need a cleaning, like these lanterns are kind of dusty, so I need to clean them. Other things I just need to label and price. So I did price some things a couple weeks ago, but I still have to price all of these items. So I have this bin. I bring this with me when I go to markets and everything as well. It has, you know, labels, and it has markers and string and scissors and everything I could need in case I need to price things at the market, but I also use it when I am, you know, just pricing things, getting ready for the market. And then I also have my market prep to-do list. I'll probably end up adding more things that I forgot to do to this, but I have to work on these items and get the car all packed up and everything. So today is Tuesday. I pack up the car on Friday, and I have the market I can set up for my Saturday market on Friday night. So all of this needs to be done by Friday. And I need to, then I'll just leave the car overnight to Sunday because I'm going to the next market on Sunday. So I'm going to work on all this now, and go along. I've also decided that for these collage kits that I have, I need to actually make and print some kind of label. There's too much white space across the top. So I'm going to just try to figure out something and print them off on my own printer and just glue them or staple them or something onto the top of the collage kits. So I'm going to work on that as well. So here we go. Okay, so I got the lanterns all cleaned up. I have 4 different kinds here. Actually kind of ranging in size from smallest to largest to smallest. But anyway, so what I do when I price is I look at different factors. I look and see if I have sold anything like this before on my website and what it sold for. So I have sold some lanterns before. I don't know if I sold red lanterns though, so I'm going to look into that. And I feel like the size that I sold was mainly this one, so I have to look into these other sizes. I'll also Google the brands that they are, the different brands, to see what they are listed for online. And another thing that I also use all the time is Google Lens. So if I'll look at something on Google Lens and then see what it says, compare it to the prices online. as well as I will look at what sells on Etsy, what has sold on Etsy. But also I'll look on eBay and filter by sold prices. So I'll see what has sold on eBay, and that means that someone actually paid that money for those items. So I know that's what it could sell for, because sometimes you look online and people have, you know, really expensive prices for things, but they haven't actually sold. So they're not the sold prices. And that's what I mainly care about, unless it's something that's really rare. I can't find it online. And so I kind of have to guess at what it could be priced at by some research and different factors. But for red lanterns, these are pretty standard. I'll be able to find prices online of how much these have sold for, and then I will label and price accordingly. So that's what I'm working on now. Okay, it's coming along well, I think. This was piled full of things before, and now it's pretty much clear. I'm kind of moving things off as I tag it. So I still need to price some things, but a lot of these things are just like containers of ornaments. So it's just one price tag for the full bin, and I'll be selling them individually from the bin. I just had to clean a few more things. So I have some brass candle snuffers and this candle holder as well that had wax residue. So just one tip that I have for cleaning, what I find is easiest for cleaning wax off brass, if you get things like this, is I just get a paper towel in my kitchen. I run the item under hot water, or in the case of the candle holder, I filled it with hot water where the wax was all stuck. And then the hot water softens the wax, and I actually keep wood chopsticks from, you know, if you get takeout or delivery and they give you like extra utensils, or a wooden spoon or something like that. I keep wood because it doesn't scratch the brass, and I keep it just in my junk drawer in my kitchen. And then anytime I need to like scrape off wax or anything off anything, just loosen it up a little bit with some hot water, scrape off the wax, and then I kind of like dump the water and the wax onto the paper towel so it doesn't go down my kitchen drain. And that's, I find, the easiest way to clean wax off of items to sell, and it doesn't leave like any residue or anything behind, and the wood doesn't actually scratch your brass and leave marks. So that is my hint, or my tip, if you are looking for easy ways to quickly clean brass items that don't need to be polished or anything, just need wax taken off. So this is a little progress update. I just cleaned those items so they're ready to go, and now I'm going to keep making price tags and going along for the market. All right, so I went to the dollar store today to get a glue stick, and I use an app called Canva to make graphics and stuff for different things for my shop. So I decided to make these vintage Christmas collage kits sign. It says get cozy and get crafting. So I've printed them out already. I did a little test on this one. So these are these collage kits that I'm going to be selling at my market, and I've showed them in other videos before. I made them all with like vintage you know, snowflakes and Christmas cards and Christmas imagery and all different vintage Christmas stuff. And there's some like ribbon and string and everything included in them. Well, anyways, they look like this before, and I thought there was just too much white space. Ideally, I would have had a smaller package for this, but I had these ones left over, these packaging that I already had. So I decided to use them, and to fill in the little gap at the top, that extra white space, I am printing and cutting out these vintage Christmas collage kit signs, and I've glued it on with the glue gun, or the glue stick. And I also had these stickers. So I had a bunch of these stickers just from a few Christmases ago for something else that I did for a market. So I decided to put them on the back just to give it a little extra cuteness. So I'm going to now work on attaching all of these to all of the collage kits. There's 10 collage kits in total. So I'm going to work on this now, and I might work on pricing a few other things before I stop for the night. Right, it is Thursday now, so we're down to a little bit of crunch time for getting ready for the market, because, well, I do have the day still tomorrow. I'm going to set up tomorrow night at 5:30, so I still do have some extra time. But last night I just filmed me making the collage kits, showing you that, but I actually priced items for I got everything priced that had been on my table for the display. Now these are the clothing items that I'm going to be bringing with me. This morning I packed up the table, the clothing rack, and the my wagon to get everything into the venue. I packed that up in the car this morning, but I won't put in the merchandise till tomorrow. But anyway, so these are all the clothing pieces. I just came back recently from a trip to Spain, so I actually put all the labels, all the prices on these before I left. So they're all ready to go. I'm so thankful that I did that ahead of time. I literally did this, I think I was about to leave for the airport in a couple hours, and I made all these tags for all the clothing. So I'm very, very thankful that I did it at the time, because I thought, you know, when you get back, you're not going to want to do all of these clothing tags. So all of this is priced and ready to go. I have to pack it in bins now. I took it out actually to count out how many items I needed, and I needed promo shots as well for the market. But I took it out to see, sorry about my creaking floors. But I took everything out to just to see how many hangers I needed for my clothing racks. So I counted it all up, and I do need, I think I got 32 hangers, I think I counted up that I needed, plus a few other extra hangers for like the scarf. And I have some Christmas hand towels I'm going to bring and just put them on my clothing rack as well. Now, usually when I price items for markets, I put them on different tags that are just whatever. I don't print off nice little tags like this, but any clothing items that don't sell at the markets this Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to bring them right to Studio 205 and sell them in the back room there. So I do sell vintage in the back room at Studio 205, which is at 205 King Street East in Hamilton, Ontario. And I just find, you know, I could put all this on my website, but it usually helps people, you know, when they can actually try on the clothing, it's easier to buy clothing in person. So hopefully, knock on wood, all of this, for the most part, sells at the markets this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Anything that doesn't sell, I'm going to bring it right to Studio 205. So these are the tags that I use to sell items at Studio 205, and I write the information on the back of them in a code. So just for purpose of, you know, keeping it simple and easy breezy as possible, I just put all the clothing with these tags. Now, it does waste a little bit of these tags because people who buy these now will take this home with this tag on it. And I normally wouldn't put such a nice printed tag, but then it's just so much easier for me when I have anything left from the market. All I have to do is write a code on the back of this and put it into a spreadsheet so that they know what items are mine, and then it's all done. So for the purpose of time, so I don't have to go reprice and label everything after the fact, that's what I did. So right now I'm going to pack all this back up into bins. I have a big plastic bin and then also like a kind of like vinyl kind of bag that I'll pack all these clothing items in. And I have to set aside hangers as well for these, but all ready to go to pack up the car tomorrow. Okay, all my items are all over my dining room right now, so now it's time to actually pack up. So today is Friday, and I'm going to pack up the car with everything so that I actually have to pack it into bins, and then I'll pack it into the car, and that means that I'll be all ready to go for tonight when I go to set up at the market. Unfortunately, it's snowing right now, and it also snowed all overnight, so I'm hoping I can get everything into the car without getting snow on things or whatever, but I do have these blue bins that I put things in. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. I'm pretty much all packed up, and I'm about to start packing up the car shortly. But I just want to show, this is something I started doing a while ago at markets, was having a designated basket that has all my bags and wrap and everything in it. So I'll just put some packing paper in here. That's just the paper I use for actually packing up items in my bin. Once I unwrap the items, I'll put some easily accessible paper in here as well to wrap people's purchases if they want paper. And then I also have some bags if they do need a bag. So that's what I usually bring to markets. I do bring a basket like this. I just find it's, you know, easy to just have a basket there already set up and grab things as I need them. Something that in addition to that, something that I've been doing, it started with Christmas markets, and now if I have some extras, I will bring it. But for Christmas markets, I actually started bringing, I just get them from the dollar store, these little brown like lunch paper bags. Because I was finding at Christmas markets, more people are buying, you know, ornaments or little tiny things, and you don't want to waste your nice bigger size bags for a customer who literally has a couple little ornaments or something like that. So I've been bringing these little brown paper lunch bags with me to Christmas markets now, as well as tissue. This started more when I was doing glass ornaments. This year I don't really have a lot of glass ornaments, but you know, a little bit of tissue for glass ornaments is better than wrapping it in the heavy like craft kind of paper that I normally wrap things in. So I started doing this with Christmas markets. But if I do have little things in general at other markets, it is helpful sometimes to have these little paper bags, because sometimes people just get like little teeny things and you don't want to waste a big bag on their purchase when they just have, you know, a couple little tiny things. So yeah, I just thought I would share this little tip, and now I'm pretty much all packed. Everything's packed into the bins, ready to go. Now I'm gonna go pack up the car. All right, so it's still snowing, but I got everything packed up in the car, so the back seat is totally full. I'm lucky that usually the market I do on Saturday doesn't give you chairs each year, but this year they said they will give you a chair if you want it. And the market I'm gonna do on Sunday gives you chairs. So luckily, I do not have to pack up a chair, because it would be tight fit in there if I had to add a chair in as well. But I have my back seat totally packed up. I have my front seat with some baskets, and then we'll go look at the trunk. And then the trunk is packed up as well. So usually I don't have this larger kind of white shelf. It's something I'm testing out for this market. So it does take up a bit more space. I think I could have packed, I guess, things inside of the shelf actually itself, but I didn't. So anyway, it's all packed up now and ready to go when I have to drive over tonight. Right, I'm just getting to the cotton factory now in Hamilton to set up. This is where they always have the Christmas market from the Hamilton vintage community. So I'm just getting in now. I'll go around back to park and start unloading and get everything out of the car. My car is all unpacked. I left everything there. Have to move the car out of the way, and then now I'll go bring my stuff upstairs to unload it and start making my market move. I'm bad at driving this thing. As long as I don't hit the walls, it's okay. This one's my cart. The other one I borrowed, and this is the last load. And I could have all fit it on one cart, but I didn't have the cart when I started unpacking. So I just have my extra wagon. But it's time to go unload now. There's some of my stuff already. And I'm gonna set up in between these two poles here. So here is before, 40 minutes into setup. I have my clothing all up, I have my table done, the shell all ready, and now I just need to unpack the merchandise and put it on. I'm gonna try to get out of here in the next half hour if possible, so wish me luck. Okay, it's 7:20, so I'm 20 minutes later than I want it to be, but it's okay. It's all set up and ready for tomorrow morning. So I'll be back in the morning and be ready to welcome customers and start going. So here we go. There's more people to be set up around me and stuff too. But here's how the clothing rack looks from this side. And then there's all these spaces are going to be filled in. There's going to be someone right here behind me, so I'll be able to walk behind to my area back here. And this is an aisle that comes up here. This is an aisle that comes out this way. So there'll be other people filled in tomorrow by the time I get in. But I'm really happy with how it looks. This is just the back. And I'll sit here, and then I have these bins here with all my I have extra merchandise. Like I said, I brought some extra stuff. I have my bins for packaging and stuff, and then I have a little kind of like table on top of the bin for my water and my tea or whatever I have. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Saturday. It's the morning of the market. I'm all ready to go. I have my market bin all packed and sorted and organized for the most part. I also charged up my square. So this is just, I've had this ever since I started doing markets. I do take cash payments, but I also take square payments. So people can pay with their debit or credit card, and they just tap on top, or they could insert it. So you just have an app that you put on your phone, and then you punch in the cost of the item on your phone and then just charge the people. So this bin is all ready to go. And I forgot to pack this up, so I grabbed this as well. So I keep this actually for Christmas markets. It smells so good. It's nostalgic Victorian Christmas room spray. And at this market, you can't have anything burning. You can't have candles or anything like that, which I don't usually have candles burning at markets anyway. But when I just spray this every so often around the air of my booth, and when people walk by, they're like, oh, it smells so good here. It smells like Christmas. And there's different things about, marketing and stuff like that, where people say that scent can make people want to shop or want to buy things or whatever. And I just find that this smell, which does smell like a nostalgic Victorian Christmas, when you walk by, it kind of gets you in the Christmas and holiday mood. So maybe you will want to buy more Christmassy and holiday items. So I just keep this for Christmas markets. I'm almost at the end of it, so I'll have to see if I can find some more after this runs out. But I keep it for Christmas markets, and this is now my, I think, 3rd year in a row using it for markets, and it always does the trick. Saturday, and the market's about to start in about 20 minutes. The doors will open to customers. Everything's all set up and ready to go. So the whole venue. Set up. Oh, look how small it is, my friend. That's a wrap. So I'm about to take this load down to the car, and then I have to come back and get these items here. So I'll do this in 2 trips, hopefully. First load in the car. Now let's go get the second load. All right, space all cleared, and this is the second load, and then I'm heading home. All right, that's a wrap. All packed up in an hour and 20 minutes. Some of the time was mainly waiting for the elevator to get downstairs. So I probably could have done an hour if I didn't have the elevator to account for, but all in all, pretty good. Now I'm going to be finishing the market and heading home, and tomorrow we'll be going to Guelph. Second market day, I'm in Guelph, Ontario. This is at the Guelph Farmers Market, and I was actually happily surprised to find out there's a parking garage right over there with free street parking on Sundays. So I just had to park there and then walk over. And lots of vendors all getting set up. Customers will be here soon. And this is my booth space over here. It's a pretty busy place, as you can see, lots of vendors set up. So I'm excited for customers to start showing up shortly. I was pleasantly surprised when I got here and found out that I actually got a second table. So they provided both the tables and chairs, and I showed up. I thought I just had one table and the clothing rack, and turns out I actually got a second table. So as you can see, I took full advantage of that, spread everything out. I actually don't know how I fit all of these items on one table at my market yesterday, because I was a bit struggling even to figure out how to fit everything on 2 tables. So I don't even know how I did that, but so now I took full advantage, have 2 tables. It's a great pleasant surprise for me, and now I can actually put everything kind of spread out so customers can see everything more fully and properly. And luckily I actually had a second tablecloth, this tablecloth, inside my car, a Christmas tablecloth. I normally don't pack extra tablecloths, and I just happened to have it for, I don't know, maybe subconsciously I thought I would get a second table. So I put the one tablecloth that was over this table on this table instead, because it's a bit bigger, and I just took out that second Christmas tablecloth and put it over there. So very pleasantly surprised about this situation. Knock on wood, I get lots of, knock on wood, I get lots of good sales today, and all ready for day 2. That's a wrap. I actually packed up everything in 30 minutes, so I'm super happy about that. Now I have to go get the car, move it closer to the venue, and then pack it in the car, and then I'll head home. It's the day after the market. Here are the majority of the products that I have left. I actually, at the market at the end of the day, I decided to divide it up into 2 bins, and I put all the things I thought I would sell at Studio 205 in one bin, and then all the things I thought I would sell on the website in another bin. So it's very easy to, this morning I just unpacked the bins from the car and I separated it onto this table in my room, and I knew what I would sell in each area. So these items I'm going to work on getting photographed and listed, and these items I have to make sure I get them into Studio 205 this week. So I sell vintage in the back room at Studio 205, which is in Hamilton, at 205 King Street East in Hamilton, Ontario. So all those items, what I do is I have to just get them into a spreadsheet, get codes on them, and label and price them, and then bring them into the back room at Studio 205. The other items I thought would be easier to sell on the website, things that people might search for, or just items that would be kind of difficult to sell at Studio 205, maybe like different things that I don't want to get damaged or have lots of people touching or whatever kind of thing. So I'm going to work on that today. So I have this table full of merchandise. I also have this basket, which is full of ornaments, like all just ornaments. I just kind of toss them all into this basket. So I'm going to work on sorting those. Some of the ornaments I actually have in, you know, good groupings of ornaments that are kind of cool looking ornaments. So I might sell them as small groupings on my website. And a lot of the ornaments though are going to go to Studio 205. It's just easier to sell things like that are just small little like one-off kind of pieces, and people can kind of sort through the bins, like all the, like a bowl of wood ornaments and stuff, which were very popular at the market yesterday actually. But I sold those last year at Studio 205 too, and it's just easier for people to just go through a bin and pick out little ornaments that they want. And I'm not going to list all those on the website, of course, so those kind of items are easier. I also have vintage cards left in both of these boxes. The shelf I'm not going to sell, but I am going to use the shelf today for styling some Christmas items to drop on the website. I also have a bin full of clothing left, and I am going to be selling the majority of that at Studio 205. I might keep back a few of the pieces to put on the website, but the majority is going to be going to Studio 205. So it's a busy day ahead of me today. I always wish that, especially after doing a double day market 2 days in a row, I kind of wish that I could just rest and have the day off on the Monday, but there's always so much stuff to keep doing. And as a small business owner, you don't get a lot of extra days off. You just have to keep going. So I took it a little bit slower this morning getting started, but I did unpack everything, and now I have to get it all on the website. So I'm going to show a slide after this that shows the items that sold each day at the website at the markets, which were popular items. And that way, if you are a seller and you're wondering, what items customers found, the best pieces to shop for, that might give you some clues. So I'll put that in a slide after this. Here are my sales that I had on Saturday, which actually was, I made about $150 less on the Saturday than I did on the Sunday. If you're not interested in seeing what items sold, you can just skip on by this part. But I thought if you are another vintage seller or another seller in general, you might want to see what customers like to purchase. So these were my Saturday sales. Not as many ornaments as I thought I would sell, but I did sell all the A&W bears. And in total, I had 79 items that sold. I did have about the same amount of items that sold on Sunday. However, on Sunday, each item was worth more money that sold. So on Saturday, a lot of the items were $1 to $5 items, whereas Sunday's items cost more money. So even though it was about the same amount of items in quantity, I did make more money on Sunday. So as you can see here, I sold a lot more ornaments, and I did sell some more clothing pieces, definitely a lot more of the miscellaneous Christmas items than I did. And in total on Sunday, I sold 82 items. Here's my first drop all styled up. So this will be coming on Thursday at 9 a.m. to my website at greenbriervintage.com. So I'll be selling the Frosty the Snowman book, these 2 lanterns, this brass Christmas tree candle holder, this round snowy village embroidery, this winking Santa smoking a pipe, and then also a collection of 4 of these brass frames, gold, metal, and brass frames that will be coming because I just thought they looked nice with this shelf display. So this pudding bowl was for sale originally at my market with this garland strand of beads in it. I had 2 of them actually. I had 2 different looking kind of pudding bowls. One was more cream, this one was more white. And I had a strand of the same beads in each of them. When I was styling this, I was originally going to sell the beads in the bowl, but I do really like how the little mini Christmas tree looks in the white pudding bowl. And I really like this strand of beads as a decor piece or a staging piece for Christmas drops. So I'm going to hold on to both of those pieces for the time being. I can always sell them later, or I could just keep them and use them as staging props. So I'm going to hold on to those for now. And here is my styling for Friday at 9 a.m. So I kept the same, everything was the same, except I switched out the items. I kept the garland, I kept the pot with the tree and all this and stuff, and kept some books. I added an extra book. But I will be having these 3 modern looking carved wood reindeer coming, sold as a set of 3. I have this jingle bell wreath, which I think also looks great with a pillar candle inside of it. I have this cruel embroidery angel. I have this one gold frame that will be coming. It's wood, not brass. And then I have this German gingerbread wood box that's covered with this nice print on it that will be coming as well. So that's a wrap on shooting content for this video and for showing you the Christmas markets that I attended and prepped for. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it useful. If you are a reseller, a vintage seller, I hope if you're a customer or someone who is just interested in vintage, you also found it interesting to see the behind the scenes. If you would be able to like and subscribe this video, I'd appreciate it so very much. I'm just a small business, so anytime anyone subscribes, I get so excited about it. So if you are able to subscribe, I really would appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram at greenbrier_vintage and on my website, www.greenbriervintage.com. Thank you so much for being here and following along, and I hope you have a great day.